Hey, what's up, friends? So you're here in the training for community leader, and I want to tell you a little bit about what this is about. I'm going to start off with the problem. Okay, so we're a church community, and the problem is our church keeps growing. I know, terrible problem, right? It's a horrible thing. Now, in all seriousness, that's not an issue at all. But the reality is, as we grow, inevitably, our community becomes more fragmented. It becomes less community and more people showing up to the same space. It means that people will walk in, and we have this happen. New people walk in every single week, and then they walk out without being known or loved or valued. And what I'll point out is we have great front end hospitality, as in um, our front doors, our greeters, our first time visitor desk, all those things. They're doing such an awesome job. Um, but there are some middle issues that we need to talk about because what we don't want is people disappearing. We don't want people being unknown or unloved or unvalued. We don't want our back door to be wider than our front door when it comes to people leaving the church. And so the solution we believe is a culture change. It means that we become a people of hospitality, that our church, and this is more recapturing a vision than anything else because CCW has had a long-standing tradition of hospitality being one of our major focuses. But over time, post-COVID, some of that's gotten away from us. And so talking about getting back to the place where people are known and loved and valued and that's happening right on a Sunday morning, starting on a Sunday morning. And the solution that we've come up with to try to begin this culture change is something that we're calling micro communities. See, our services, they often have over 300 people per service, two services on our Sundays. We're running like 750 right now. That's a lot of faces, right? And I get to know more people than almost anybody else here because of foundations, because of being up front, because of just standing in the hallway greeting people. I get to know a lot of names, but I feel like I'm at capacity most of the time, to be honest. It's, maybe I can add a few more names to my queue, but getting to know people relationally, well, that might be beyond my ability at this point. And so I was reading some content a while back. This social scientist named Robin Dunbar, she theorized that as humans, we have this limited number when it comes to stable social relationships. And so if you read up on their theory, basically, we all have a tight little inner circle that's 3 to 5 people. And then we have our good friends, which is like 12 to 15 people. And then we have what we could call like a circle, people that we regularly interact with. This is about 50 people. We have a community, that's people who we know what's going on in their lives, we know their names, 120 to 150 people. And then, if you're a high capacity person in this respect, then there's a group we would call acquaintances. This is like 500. That means, hey, you might be on a first name basis, but you don't really know what's going on in their life. And then finally, recognizable 1,500 people. Okay, so that's a name and nothing else. Like, yeah, I've seen that person before, right? And this is our brains. Understand, this isn't us being lazy. This is just how God's designed us. And the funny thing is, I see this design in Scripture, right? We see Jesus being very intentional. He's got his inner circle, and he's got his closest disciples, the 12, and then he's got this group of 120 that's his community that he's doing life with. So Jesus was very intentional, and I think that we have to get more intentional. Now, when it comes to those numbers, in the church, we're already intentional about the first couple, as in we advocate for intentional discipleship, 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 or 1-to-3 discipleship. That's the inner circle side of things. We talk about discipleship groups. These are groups of 10 to 18 people, and there's that second circle, right? It's the next size up that we're targeting here, probably the 50 to 100 size that we're attempting to target with micro communities. And the way we're going to do this is, first of all, we're going to remove some seating from our worship center. I know that sounds crazy. You know, we're growing and we're removing seating. Well, we're not packed yet, and I actually think losing a couple seats, if this works out, makes it completely worthwhile. So we're going to remove some seating from the floor to create 8 different sections on Sunday morning. And we divided up our balcony seating into 6 different sections. So in total, there are 14 different sections during a service. And what we're going to do with those sections is we're going to create dynamic times in our service where those micro communities are able to connect. And we're going to be assigning community leaders to each section to lead the charge in making sure that connection's happening in that space. And we're going to help those micro communities to connect beyond the doors by offering parties and helping them move beyond just the Sunday morning space into getting into each other's lives. So it's our hope that micro communities will help to shift the culture of CCW away from just show up as a stranger to come and be known and be loved and be valued. But for this to work, we need families who are committed to making it happen. We need community leaders. So let's talk about what that looks like.